What's going on, guys? Welcome to my first mod spotlight for Minecraft. Today I am going to be showing you a modification called Forestry for Minecraft. It actually just came out a couple of days ago, and basically I stumbled upon it when I was I was trying to set up an automated tree farm with Red Power 2, and I don't know, I just sort of browsed the forum and I kind of stumbled on this and I figured I'd give it a shot. And honestly, it's pretty slick. So, like I said, it's used for automating a tree farm, and it is heavily integrated with Buildcraft. Although Buildcraft is optional, it's sort of, I really wouldn't recommend using the mod without Buildcraft. And it also integrates a little bit with IndustrialCraft 2. It is completely Forge compatible, so it doesn't do any base class edits or anything like that. And it does add a few new ores to the game. It will, if you don't have IndustrialCraft 2 installed, it will add copper and tin to your game world. But if you do have IndustrialCraft installed, it is smart enough to detect that, and it will not add these ores into your world. And then it will also add a third ore, well, one ore if you already have an IndustrialCraft installed, but it's called apatite ore, and basically it's used for fertilizing. So, I guess I'll just start with showing you some of the recipes real quick. Let's see here. I need to fire down a crafting table. So the first thing we're going to make is manure. I don't know how much of this I really need, but it doesn't really matter. I have TMI running on this copy, so I'll just spawn in anything I need. And another thing that's very important is fertilizer. This is the apatite ore that you get when you mine the apatite ore block, so you get this little diamond-like looking gem type deal. So you fire that in the middle, and actually I should just get some more sand. You surround it with sand, and you make fertilizer. Okay, so fertilizer or manure can be used to make hummus, and hummus is the ingredient or the block that you need to grow the trees on. So I need more dirt for that. Let's see, you can do fertilizer in the middle and then surround it by dirt. You get hummus. Now, if you take this out, put in manure, you should get the same thing. There you go. So you can use either one of those to make hummus. I would recommend, if you can, use the manure to make your hummus, because you'll see later the fertilizer has a more important use, and since it comes from ore, then it's a bit more of a finite resource, whereas manure can be made from, dirt, which is really abundant, and then wheat, which you can grow yourself and make a wheat farm. So that's that. Now, let's see, the next thing we get into some of the more machiney type things. So this basically is based on bronze, so if you just have the mod installed by itself, I have a lot of stuff on here. I'm also partially blind, apparently. I can never find the items I'm looking for. I feel like I'm missing a page all of a sudden. Okay. Copper, tin. Okay. So this is the copper and tin that comes with Minecraft Forestry. You put these together, and you would get bronze like that. But I think because I have, see, this is what you get this bronze block right there. But since I have Industrial Craft installed, it hasn't even entered that recipe in, so it will just use Industrial Craft bronze. So if we put this around like this, you get a sturdy machine. And that is part of the mod. So we'll get to that in a second. One other thing we can do is if we take a Buildcraft gear, surround it with bronze, you get a bronze gear. And I already have a bunch of those, so I won't make any more. And okay. So now, the first thing I will show you of the machine portion is the Arboretum. The Arboretum is what you use to actually make the foundation for your trees, and it will plant them. So we need sturdy machine, we need gold, glass, and there's our Arboretum. Next one we have is the logger. So it's a similar recipe, except instead of gold we use diamond. You get a logger. One other thing you can do apparently is it will accept industrial diamonds. So that's pretty awesome for people that have Industrial Craft. Wish more mods did that. Okay, so these are basically the two fundamental machines that we need to run our system. So I will start by placing down the Arboretum, and then it needs power from a machine, or an engine I mean. So you fire an engine down, and let's see, we need to put some saplings into it and some hummus. So you put saplings in that slot, put the hummus in here. Basically what it's going to do, actually I'll just let it start up and then I'll show you, or I'll explain what it does. And we'll do that. So it'll start by clearing out an area. Actually, I am going to fill in this water real quick. Okay. So, it'll start by clearing out all the grass and stuff in this area. Hope that's not going to screw it up. And then it will build a square around you of hummus. And then it will plant the saplings on top of the hummus. I think maybe I'll just stand here and kind of time lapse it for a second. Alright, so looks like our Arboretum is done planting. Now, as you can see, it made a nice little square of hummus around itself. Usually what I like to do is I'll take like, let's see here, stone bricks. And I'll just build a nice little perimeter around it. Basically all the way around there. I'll go all around the inside too. But I'm not going to do that right now. This is just sort of like an idea that you can use or whatever you want to do. But the next phase is the logger. So what I'm going to do is I'll place it right beside it. Now this logger will actually cover a larger area than the Arboretum will. I don't know how much larger, but I would assume probably a few more blocks to the outside so that, you know, you can place it off to the side or whatever you want to do. But also needs an engine. It's obviously not going to do anything just yet because there's nothing has grown yet. But you can attach Buildcraft pipes to this. If you put a pipe on the top, like a wooden pipe, it will extract saplings. And if you put a pipe on the side, it will extract the wood. So as trees grow, the logger cuts down the tree. It takes all the wood and puts it into an internal inventory. And it takes all the saplings as well and puts it into an internal inventory. You can't see what the inventory is, but it's in there and you can get it out with pipes. Otherwise, you can put a chest beside it if you're just doing a simple one like this. And as it goes along, it will just place all the saplings and the lumber in here. Makes it fairly easy. Just gonna grab some bone meal here if I can find it. Let's see here. So many items that it's like, there we go. Okay, so we'll just instantly grow a couple trees. Maybe. For some reason I can't grow the trees. I wonder why. Is that not the right bone meal? Is there a different kind of bone meal? Let's just take a look here. Huh. I wonder why that's not working. That worked. I wonder maybe if it's because he may be implementing it in like a growth accelerator. He may have inadvertently disabled the bone meal, or I'm doing something wrong. I'm not sure. Anyway, so maybe I'll just wait for a tree to grow and then we'll see what happens. Okay, well, instead of waiting for these trees to grow, I'm just going to turn this one off. And I'm going to go and show you a more completed tree farm that I've already made before I started doing this one. I made it off camera. So we'll just head over here and take a look at this one. This is a more fully automated tree farm. And as you can see, there's sand there, so basically the hummus will degrade. I think after it grows one tree, it will degrade. Or it just degrades over time. And right now I don't have this machine running, so it's just kind of deteriorating. But I have lots of trees over here, so there's a whole lot more stuff underneath here that I will have to explain. Yeah, so okay, where do I start? Let's start over by the water. Show you my run-of-the-mill water pump. So I have this little standard pump, turn him on, and he pumps water down into a holding tank underneath. These guys here are called fermenters. They take saplings and fertilizer and water, and then they make biomelange, or I just call it biofuel. So one of these fermenters should be able to run 3 of these guys, biogas engines. So they're basically just Buildcraft engines, or like combustion engines that take biofuel and lava. Now, I can't really demonstrate this because I was already running this machine. These engines are already warmed up. But when you first place one of these engines, it's cold. It will not run when it's cold. So you have to take some lava and you have to dump it into the engine. That basically heats up the engine so it starts like normal, I think it's blue, and then it will gradually warm up and then it will start running. I have the switch turned off right now, that's why these aren't running. But I haven't tried it, but I assume that you could probably run a pipe, another pipe down the other side with lava and just keep them stocked up, because you can run these, instead of running off the biofuel, you can put water into them, and it's a lot more inefficient. But if you're running off water, it will slowly consume the lava just to keep the engine warm. Whereas if you're running off biogas, then once the engine is warmed up with the initial lava, then it doesn't need any more lava. It'll just keep running. So let's see here. I'm going to turn on these engines, and I have power running up to the logger and the Arboretum, as well as power running over to the fermenters. As you can see, they're converting the stuff into biofuel. So I basically have, I only really need one of these fermenters to run these 3 engines, but I also decided, like when I started this, I started with 3 steam engines, just sort of to get things going, to get a stock up of biofuel, and then I switched them out with biogas engines. So you can pretty much run this like self-sustained, and I would assume there's probably a lot of excess power generated, so you could use it to also run some other stuff. So I'll flick this switch, it should pump out some biofuel. I'll fill these guys back up. So I'm going to turn on, this switch runs up to the top and it runs 2 redstone engines. These 2 here, this one's taking out the logs and this one is taking out the saplings. The saplings will run down here. I think they come down right there, down this chute here. Yeah. And then they run around here and they run into this little pipe here. Now this is a separate mod called, I think it's called Additional Pipes. But basically I set it so that, let's see, green and yellow go to the fermenters. Green and yellow, so they get 2 saplings, and then dark blue is 0, so I make sure none of the saplings come back through the channel, and then the rest go through the white pipe, which is, like, it'll go 2, 2, and then 1 sapling will go this way, and basically what this does is it redirects it up into the Arboretum. So basically restock the Arboretum with saplings. Now I have hummus in here, so I need to turn this on and send up some more hummus, because all my hummus up there is starting to dry up. So, and I store my wood in here in lava just for demonstration purposes. And I just stocked this full of fertilizer because I don't have any in this world. I couldn't mine any. Plus I didn't really intend on mining anything for a demo video. So if I turn this fella on, that basically toggles all these redstone engines. And these two pump out the liquid from the fermenters. This one takes out the fertilizer. And there's also another redstone engine over here that pumps out water. And I have another additional pipe type guy over here, and I have it so I see I have black is set to 5. So basically one will come through here, like one fertilizer will go this way, then one fertilizer will go this way, and the next 5 will get sent back to the chest. The reason I do that is because this redstone engine, it supplies a little more fertilizer than I can use. At least that's what I've initially noticed. So I send 5 back to the chest, that way I don't overstock the fermenters. So he's full, he's just about full. That one's pretty much full. So yeah, like the fact that it just adds a whole new fuel source to the game, that alone is really cool. It basically means you don't have to be so dependent on oil for Buildcraft, which is really cool. Like once you get this thing going, it pretty much runs itself. Like the only thing you have to do is keep supplying it with hummus and fertilizer. Fertilizer could be a problem, but I mean, as long as you're mining once in a while, or you have like a quarry set up somewhere, you should have a pretty good supply of fertilizer. And you know, you can get, I think, what is it, 8 fertilizer per 8 fertilizer per appetite gem, or whatever you want to call it. So, and it does take a lot of sand to make the fertilizer, but if you're running, if you're running industrial craft, then you can make a cobblestone generator, and if you macerate the cobblestone, you end up with sand. And also, it's pretty good that the Arboretum will give you sand as well. So that definitely helps balance things out a little bit. One thing I do regret about this room is I should have made it a little bigger. It's pretty much the minimum size that I could get everything to work. And towards the end of the setup, it sort of got a little tangled up. Like I didn't really want to put this chest here and this stuff here. So could have planned it out a little better, but I mean, it is what it is. The mod itself is great. I really have no complaints about it. It's, everything seems to work great. It's not really any major bugs that I've noticed. And if you're looking to do a tree farm, I would highly recommend doing it this way. Like, Buildcraft tree farm, they're a little convoluted. You have to use fillers, and it's a little too much work. It's just a little too convoluted. Whereas this, it's, it can be basic. The setup I have over here, just a little couple redstone engines or steam engines. I wonder if anything's grown over here yet. Yep. So I mean, this is all you really need. You do need diamonds to make it, so it's not like an instant thing that you can start doing. I already have 2 saplings in there. Let's turn this back on. Should start cutting down a tree any second here. There goes one right there. So it cuts the tree down, it dumps the stuff in here, and you can take it out yourself. So ideally what you want to do is obviously run these off biogas engines, make a whole self-contained unit. You end up with lumber, then you end up with an extra power source and sand. But I mean, you know, you could really expand this. You could put some Buildcraft auto crafting tables. You could combine the sand from the Arboretum with the I keep forgetting what they're called, apatite, and make fertilizer, and in turn use the fertilizer to run your fermenters, which in turn fuel your engines. The only thing I think Buildcraft is missing is a storage facility for power, because if the power is not getting used, it's getting wasted pretty much. But yeah, that's not really a topic for this video. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the mod in this version. Like I said, it's version 1.0.4. It seems to be pretty actively developed right now, so I would expect things to be enhanced over the future updates. And yeah, thanks for taking the time to watch this video. Hopefully it's been informative for you, and I would highly suggest you go download this mod. Like I said, it's fully Forge compatible. It's just a file you drop in your mods folder and everything pretty much works. And it works, like I said, it works with Buildcraft and it works with Industrialcraft too. And yeah, just like if you're looking to do a tree farm, I would definitely use this mod. It's just gonna save you a lot of headache, and it's just really cool. Thanks for watching, guys.